If you've ever been through a life-changing perspective, time, difficult situation, it can often be what fosters something revolutionary, change your life. Stay tuned for this one. Great story, everybody.
22, 18, 13, and 11.
There you go. Full house there, everybody. I asked a question as we were on our quick little intro there. But this is a gentleman who's taken the opportunity, what people would say, the risk, the challenge, but started a company when you felt like this might have been the only option you felt you had at the time. But you had some skills you developed working somewhere else.
I did.
And then the world changed. That whole 2008.
Yeah, it's bad year.
Mortgage world. I dealt with that. We all understood. The reason Anheuser-Busch was bought out, a lot of people argue, was because our economy was so down, and the euro was up. And if the euro versus the dollar was not up, then that takeover would have never have happened.
Yeah.
So that's what happened, and then I'm looking for a new job too. But Richie here ended up figuring out something innovative. I went to work for a couple people and then learned and ended up here on my own. Richie went right to it. Check out what we're talking about here. If you look at some of the work he's got done, the website, I'm going to jump in right here. Let's go right to it. If you missed the first show, you missed a lot of great information, some great examples here, but we're going to show off some of his actual work now, and you can see the before and after, and a little bit of the process I noticed there. But most people check out his Facebook page. So I'll go back to the wide camera shot. So you can see it on our far wall over there. And if you go to the photos album, because there are pictures on his website, some of the integrations, your web guy did a good job. Mm-hmm. Facebook integrated right into the website, which is very, I advocate that. Not many people do that, so I've seen that, I've done that. But here are those pictures. It's just not like 6 or 7. There's like 300 pictures here. You get to see the process. I'm going to start at the top, or you tell me which ones you like to focus on, but I'll just grab.
Yeah, that's a little. This one, this is kind of
me
what we do. This is the taping and prepping process and the spraying of the bodies. So we mask everything off basically to where we can get to just that body there, to where we can spray that and get that all well coated. And again, this is all done in home. It's all controlled, so that comes out beautiful when it's done.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to make sure everything's masked off, or else you end up spraying walls and all that.
Absolutely.
And it's just,
yep.
You see the whole process, but everything is very well.
And the taping and prepping process is probably, prep is almost 80% of everything. If it's not prepped right, it's not going to work.
Yeah, well, I like the quote from Lincoln. I think they give him credit for that. I'll sharpen the knife 7 times to make 1 cut. Right?
That's true.
And you want to make sure that you prep things properly, or else you end up redoing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of time and energy. All right, let me fast forward here. A little bit more of the prep stuff.
Yeah, and we get some other things in there, like some of our mantles. We get a lot of beautiful furniture, beautiful just heirlooms, things like that. A lot of hand carved stuff. A lot of things from Europe. A lot of things from Asia. We have all kinds of different varieties of things. When you're on the Facebook page, when you scroll through each post, as far as the kitchen's concerned, we'll put on there what color we use, what trim options, because not only do we do painting, we also do trim work as well too. So we can put your crown molding on, we can frame out islands, dress it up, and give you a little bit more of a 3-dimensional look to it. It's really nice to add this trim on there, because that's basically what your new kitchens are, is a lot of trim work, a lot of under cabinet molding, crown molding, all that stuff, just to give it one more shot in the arm to make it neat.
Well, we might see some of those here, but there's some more of that taping off again.
And there's again that beautiful orange that's really difficult to work around. They got rid of it, and now it's all custom.
Okay, and then see some of the final work here after things have been painted. And
she did a really nice floating shelf in there. That worked out really neat. Something different that people like to add to it.
Okay. As I go on here, now here you're getting through the process a little bit. You can see. Tell us what's going on here.
There's your floors and things. We make sure we cover up all the floors, all the walls, refrigerator, anything that we have to where we basically spray in about a 4-inch fan, and we usually use 18-inch paper because it doesn't go much over 18 inches as far as the overspray. But because it dries really quickly, any overspray that is there, it dries to a powder and falls to the ground. Okay. So that's kind of why it looks a little dusty, is because it's just pigment powder.
Okay, so you're in the and then is this the after?
That's the after. There it is. From orange to this.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy that one as I got it up on the screen for you. That's a big difference.
She did a really nice accent on the island. We did that, and it's called tricorn black. It's a little bit of an off black, and then the cabinets themselves, it was an alabaster, and I like that color because she had a very sandy stone type of backsplash or counters and things and floor. So those colors really combination together really well.
Okay. And here we are. Is that a different angle?
Different angle.
Okay, and let everybody see that one too. But you can see as the accents, but our cabinets, white is kind of the standard these days?
Pretty much, yeah. We do a little bit of an off-white. Our top 3 colors that we like, again, we use Sherwin-Williams. We don't use their paints, but we use their colors. And we take their paint colors and put it into our paint. But the top one is going to be Torque White. And then we have Snowbound and Alabaster. They're really nice 3. There's a lot of whites out there that you can look at, but I've really boiled them down to these 3. And you know, you go from a lighter white to one that has just a little bit of cream in it, but not too buttery, antique white. Okay.
Lucky decision I made 20 years ago. My cabinets are white. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It stands the test of time. White will never go out.
That's cool. All right, as you're pulling things apart here, you're letting people...
Yeah, so this one...
this is a mantle?
Yeah, this one came out of an older 18th century home that was down in the Central West End, and it was all hand-carved, probably, I would say, in the early 1800s. And what we did was... it had gotten some water damage and some other things, so what we do is we will fully strip it, and we use the different chemicals that will strip it all the way down to the raw wood without harming the wood itself and making it come apart. It's good for veneers and everything as well too. And then what we do is we take that and we sand it, prep it, and then what we do is we have the client come down and usually come out and pick a color that they want. So we'll do it with a nice stain. Sometimes we'll do an oil base or we'll do a water base depending on what kind of color tone they're looking for. Then what we do is after we're done sanding, staining, we seal it 4 times with 4 coats of sealer. It's a clear sealer. Then we sand it down and then we do 4 coats of clear on top of that. Again, everything's sprayed and everything's
it'll look like new. Is there
brand new? Yes.
Some more
and there's no brush strokes in it or anything like that because we don't brush or roll anything. So you can see on top of there. That's it. That's the top.
You can see that line on the front.
Nice and smooth and just.
Oh my gosh!
You know, it just makes everything.
I'm gonna give everybody a quick. There's the before, and there's the after.
Yeah, just beautiful, and it's such a honor to work on something that, you know, this was handmade back in the 1800s and we get to do it again, you know, and to take that craftsman and say, hey, we're going to do it again, make it new, but also make it into newer finishes. So this way you don't have to mess with it anymore. You don't have to oil it. You don't have to do anything. You just leave it and enjoy it.
The technology does increase the ease of using longevity of these things, so you're applying that too for everybody too. That's a huge difference, and there's
beautiful.
There's that whole mantle put together. Wow, yeah, that is amazing. One more time, everybody, take a look here as I give you guys that view on the. Look at that. There it is. You saw the before and after. That's amazing. All right, there it is. Before, after. Wow.
Amazing.
All right, so now we're back into. This is an after?
Back to the cabbage. Yes, this is an after.
Yeah, and you can see where that fridge, ready to go.
Yep, ready to slide back in.
Everything that goes in there.
Again, there's the orange.
That seemed to be the popular
It's been all over. I'm ridding the world of orange cabinets.
If you have orange cabinets, give Richie a call.
Please see me.
He'll help you to get the orange cabinets. And there's another angle for that. But that finish there that's amazing. And is that an imitation granite, or is that a real granite? Actually,
that one is an imitation. They wanted to do a little less. This one we did the crown molding on, and then they wanted to, you know, not to spend a whole bunch, and you know, they had a budget, which we work with all the time, and you know, instead of granite, we can go with this.
Yeah, I personally have the imitation slate
Okay.
on my kitchen, but it looks very similar, and it's just not quite.
So many different levels of what you can do. It's whatever you want to put into it. Doing your kitchen is for resale value is your number one room.
Yep,
Everybody spends at least 3 times a day in there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Right.
And
Snacks in between.
snacks in between, exactly.
There we go. Very good. And this is that.
And there you can tell where we did.
But you've got all the masking.
The crown molding was not on there, so typically we use a 5 to 6 inch crown molding. We get most of all of our stuff from St. Charles Hardwoods because they're cabinet grade finishes or cabinet grade wood. So you don't.
Who is that over at St. Charles Hardwoods? I know the owner.
I don't know the owner. I don't do with the guys.
He's got blonde hair. Maybe he's turned it over to his son. Anyway, yeah, those guys are great.
Wonderful. The wood source, it's all cabinet grade wood, and that's very, very important because it's going to take that finish exactly the way it needs to be, just like if you were to buy it new.
Gotcha. Oh, wow. Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
Got the island, got the whole finish.
Yep.
Again,
yeah.
I'm going, granite?
Yeah, and
I think it's real granite. I can't.
And this is something too where they're a younger family. They had kids. They're like, hey, this isn't going to be our last final home. We just want to do just enough, and then we might sell it in 5 years and move and go somewhere else.
But that looks. Yeah.
But for now, they get to enjoy it, and we also help them pick out their lighting, so everything's very lit very well. It just really shows nice.
Yeah, lighting is key there too. And there it is. There's another. Is that the same plate? No, it's a different one. But
yeah, same.
Okay.
It's such a dramatic change that you can't even tell what it was.
Same place, and another finish. Look at these, and some blue accents there. And
yeah.
And is that? Oh wow. Okay.
Big difference. And I tell you what, that crown molding, it gives you such a nice top on it. It makes it look like a little piece of furniture after it's done.
Okay.
Same way with the frame outs too. That's a neat little thing as well.
Okay. Big difference you see there again, ladies and gentlemen. But especially the ladies. Who is it that makes most of the decisions?
Always the ladies, pretty much. And the guys are like, whatever you want to do. Just tell me how much it costs.
Apparently there was an influx of orange trees
they
in
did.
the 1970s, and now we've taken that and turned it into what you can see here. Again, different angle there. And I'm looking at, wow, now that you got that, there's some of that molding you're talking about. That's at the top here?
Yeah,
is that crown molding? Or
that is crown, and that's what we would call a double stack. And what that means is that there's a base and then your crown on top of that as well too. And it just gives it a little more height. Sometimes people want their cabinets to go all the way to the ceiling, but there's not enough space to put another cabinet on top of there. So what we do is we'll build a one in between and then your crown, and then it touches the ceiling.
Yeah, there are shelves in my cabinets in my kitchen that I can't reach. I'm only 5'9" with my cleats on, everybody. So this helps people to essentially lower that cabinet a little bit too, potentially, and bring it down 6-8 inches there by having that, and it looks beautiful. I would prefer that, and it lowers it for us people who are not 6'4", like some of my buddies who I was better than on the baseball field. But again, okay, we're talking before.
There we go. That's the before.
All right, and look, wait for it. Is that before? Okay.
Yep, all those before. And she picked a really neat blue. This was one that she wanted to go. Do a little something crazy with the island, and I'm like, hey, let's shoot this blue. This is a really pretty color.
Okay.
Some different homes can hold that. This one was in a Webster Groves area, so you can get a little more fun with the colors, and it really works out nice.
Lots to see out there, everybody. I could go through this for another half hour, but we got another 15 minutes of good stuff I want to talk about. But check out the pictures available on Richies. If you go to richiesrefinishing.com, click the link on the bottom of the page, or in the middle of the page, you see one of the Facebook posts. You can just click it, it'll take you to their page. And a great way to showcase that. So look there for that information. But yeah, I'll scan through just a couple here if there's any other exciting ones that you think that wow, that blue, gray, ooh, some marble finish. And you've got, oh wow, look at all these, and you could go on and on and on. And you help people with their floors.
We do, yeah. That's one of my guys doing the prep work. That's one of our doors.
Processing
and
door.
that's been stripped.
Okay.
And again, some of these doors are pretty big. They're anywhere from 8 to 12 foot.
Okay. Wow. Very cool. All right, everybody, we're going to come back here in just a minute. We do want to share with everybody a little bit of the more of the community stuff. My buddy Paris, who I knew he played for the St. Louis Rams. I didn't know how far he got. He was the third in line running back. Marshall Falk's backup, and then Paris, my buddy, who I played with. I was the kicker. He was the running back. I didn't make many tackles. He averted a lot of them. Check out what we got going on here, everybody. Fun stuff in our community. My good buddy Paris.
How you doing,
Paris,
Cowboy?
one of the best running backs in the history of semi-pro minor league football.
Yes, sir.
Got some looks from some big teams.
Yes, sir.
Play a lot of ball.
Oh yeah, I play every level you can think of in football.
There it is. What was your favorite team you played for?
My favorite team were high school.
Pro, everything.
Well, of course, high school was always NJROTC.
Okay.
And college, I went to DCC. That was Dodge City Community College. And then Kansas after that. And then I was on the Rams practice squad in the 90s.
There you go.
2000.
The Rams practice squad. Probably taking lessons from the Cardinal Cowboy and all my tackling skills.
Right. And then we met each other during the semi-pro thing. You know
Right. Who's that? Fury?
The Fury.
Or the Wildcats, or the Cyclones?
And the Cyclones, yeah. Well, you went against me when you went to the Cyclones.
Oh, I was going. Were you mad when I kicked that 53-yarder?
Nah, I wasn't. I was very excited for you. Man. That was
See?
something that somebody hasn't witnessed in semi-pro, so that was a good thing for you as well. You know?
What was that again? To make sure everybody understood. What was that? What was it?
What, the distance?
Yeah.
53.
53, everybody.
Yeah, 53.
Nobody saw that in semi-pro, you think?
Yeah, that year they broadcast it. It was the longest field goal man. I think semi-pro, where at that time semi-pro history. I don't know what it is.
I didn't know that. Well, we did a few of those. It was only because I had a great team there. Paris setting us up, running the ball, getting me within. I had to get within the 35-yard line typically.
Yeah, for sure. Easy money.
If I got to the 45, I could still hit it.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform or be a super fan. That would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams.
Yeah, it's one thing I'm very lucky with having the property and stuff.
That's one of the reasons
it's like
why
a
I'm telling
vacation
you
every
about my
weekend.
friends
You know,
of
go down
mine.
there.
Okay, Google. They help people like you and I
off
acquire
studio
gold
air
and silver,
conditioners, one,
the
2, and
membership
3.
that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! Well, there you have it, everybody. Again, trying to get the community word out there. Some leaders in the community. Paris, a buddy of mine, played for the Rams, and I got to play with some pro athletes. Everybody, Zach Abram was our running back, and then, like I said, they did all the hard work. Then I just walk in and kick the ball between the goalposts. Sometimes from 50 plus yards. We did that a few times. Hey, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. That was after my coma. Go out there and conquer the world, everybody. Do what Richie has done. Start a company. Go after it. Find a niche, something that you can figure out that people need that isn't being done out there. This is you carve your own niche here.
Yeah, it's very unique. You know, we don't have a lot of competition just because we do things the right way.
Yeah, in a way that most people, they say, "Oh, tear it out, put new cabinets."
Right,
in. Oh
right.
gosh.
We can save them. We
Yeah,
can
better.
save them.
Anytime.
Let us take a look.
That's awesome. Well, let's go in here a little bit. I want a few more questions for you. A lot of people are familiar. I'm going to put the hat on for this, everybody, as we talk about what our stuff we're doing in the community. But if you're interested in the gold and all that kind of stuff, get a hold of those guys. Goldcowboy.com. Here we are over here, camera number 4. But I reach over here for my book that I wrote the foreword. Cardinal Cowboy is an author. Right? Some people might have wrote my master's thesis where I predicted a lot of stuff. But Magnetize Your Media, I wrote the foreword here. It ended up being about the first chapter. So Carter, you're supposed to write 5 or 6 pages. He wrote 18. But we like it. They're kind of introduced the whole book. If you want to learn how to magnetize your media, get this book. #1 seller on Amazon. I can see, look at that guy. Who's that weirdo? But they really outline for you. But with that, we talk about how has technology changed your business. And I guess you can go back for a long time, and there's all kinds of ways technology evolves. Is it the physical things, or is it the technology things? Is it the tools you use?
Pretty much for us, it's the finishes. You know, the finishes have really come a long way. Most of everything was a lot of shellac and things that they used to use, a lot of oil-based type stuff. The technology that we've got now, it's called a pre-catalyzed lacquer. And what that means is the catalyst that makes it dry is already in it. There's a pre-cast, pre-cat, and a post-cat. Post-cat is one that you have to add the dryer to get it to go into dry mode, whereas this is the air that moves around and that's what dries it. So ours dries incredibly fast. It dries the touch within about 4 to 5 minutes. So
Really?
it's pretty neat, and that's how
This
it
is
can
all
get those
chemical
multiple
reactions in the way air and oxygen and everything?
Absolutely, yeah.
How would you ever learn this stuff? I guess that's years.
It's really neat, yeah. And I got a lot of great people. My HPI Finishing and Supply, they do a really wonderful job with us. We work together. If I ever have any questions, they always give me whatever was the latest and greatest finish that's out there. But this Mohawk finishing products is just great. It all works together, from the sealers, the clears, the toners, everything is designed to work together. So it comes out very seamlessly and very flawless. And that's also basically what the factories use. But it's not anything that you can get at the store, hardware store, paint store. It's specifically ordered and given to us, so it's pretty advanced stuff.
Learn to specialize in something, everybody. My dad taught me that someday you're going to specialize in something, or if you're going to make money on this planet and be able to help people. And you've obviously picked out a specialty here.
Very
that's
specialty.
Something that is, and it's such a revolutionary idea, because I can only count how many times I know that house flippers. I got to issue some of my house flipper guys. They're going, hey, let's rip out the cabinets and we'll get those ordered, and then a couple weeks later, and I'll put these in, and it costs a lot more. It took longer.
Absolutely, yeah. And the cost of wood has gone up quite a bit. Everything from manufacturing to wood. And the quality of these cabinets, usually the older ones are better. They're a raised panel. They're not a flat panel. It's not the shaker style. It's a nice raised panel, solid wood.
Okay, but now I can only imagine there's a lot of people are going, how do I sign up? I want Richie to come in and do this. What is the process? See the form right here on the page right behind us, everybody. If you want to look at that form, I'll put it up here. But yeah, tell us a little bit about, fill out this form.
Yeah, so just click on my website, richiesrefinishing.com, and go to the very first home page. It's right there. And if you can include pictures, it's always best, because I can also give you a ballpark idea on cost if you can provide me with some pictures.
Is that the option there to select
yes, there
files?
is.
You can click right here and do that.
Yep,
Okay.
put them right on there. Or you can also text them to me to the phone number that's on there.
And that's up here at the top of the page. All right, you make it easy. Technology again, kicking in to
Wonderful.
make the process easier.
Really
so people
is.
can get you the information that you need, so you can help them get what they need done. Technology is always changing, always do things. Tell me then, what is it? The process seems pretty easy there. What is What's the biggest objection? What's the biggest question people have? I mean, I can only imagine some people are like, this is impossible. How can you make
Yeah, I think a lot of what we get is the longevity of it. You know, is this going to last? Is this going to hold up? Is it going to, you know, I think sometimes people see other people who have gotten their cabinets painted and it's not what we're doing. That's I think is the biggest objection, but we give it a year warranty, and what that does is that allows it to go through all the seasons of expansion and contraction, because wood will expand and contract to heat and humidity and things in different temperatures. So once it goes through that year, you're in really good shape. Furniture stores give that for furniture as well too, for their wood products. And I think it's a good baseline. We also give you a can of touch-up paint to go along with each color. We have the ability to take this paint and put it into a spray can. So if you do get a little nick or chip, you know, if you hit it hard enough with a pot or pan, you can get that. But we can touch it up really easy because it's brought up to those 12 layers, so we can just reapply it, and it doesn't make any halo or spot where you've touched it up. So we never have any problem with it flaking or peeling or anything, because it's the prep process. That prep process is number one, has to be done exactly the way it needs to be done in order for all this stuff to work and to bond.
And what you mentioned in the first show with that process with 12 separate layers that are all prep, paint, finishing, I guess are kind of the categories it sounded like. That's a lot that goes in. You can only imagine this is like almost an ironclad finish that people are
It really is, yeah.
And it's all covered with 12 layers of...
You're building it up to where, you know, everything has its own connection, it's a bond process, and it's very, very important. But when you're done, you will never know that these were ever painted. They look like they came from the factory, and were always this way.
Wow. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, the first show, I was looking at the pictures, I'm like, oh, he redoes kitchens. Yeah, but he leaves the old stuff there and makes it look better than it might have ever looked.
Absolutely.
Especially considering 20, 30 years ago, the cabinets weren't made with the same paint and those things.
That's correct.
So you're literally making older stuff that looked great when it was new better than it ever was.
Yeah. And another thing, too, that we can do is we call it a refurbish. And what this is for people who want to keep it stained. Now, you'll have to keep it the same color. We can't change it because that involves stripping of it. But we can take what's there and make it better. So if you have a worn out trash can drawer, worn out knife and fork drawer, that's just, you want to keep that going, we can do that. We can do the whole kitchen and keep it back to the same stain color if you want to do that. We don't do just painting, so we do the refurbishing option as well too.
Very good. As we finish up here, I'm going to jump to one of my favorite questions, because I know you do some fun stuff on the weekends.
Yeah, we sure do.
And kind of just tell everybody a little bit what you got going on there with regard to your weekend.
Yeah. So we're a
about a
part
minute
of
left.
this thing. It's called Wildwood Lot Owners Association. It's in Callaway County. And what it is, it's got 9 lakes on it. It's 1,200 acres. And it's an HOA that you own your lot within this HOA. But 500 acres of it is cabins and campers, and the rest is all open for ATVs. We do dirt bikes and side-by-sides, and we just have a blast every weekend.
Something fun there, everybody. I told Richie that I might be talking to him about that. I've got a little project.
Come down,
I'm
come
working
visit
on it.
us.
How long a drive is that from St. Louis?
From here, it's about an hour and a half or so. Yeah, Callaway County. We're in front of the nuclear power plant, the Ameren's Callaway County nuclear plant.
By the big bottle of bourbon?
Yes.
That bourbon water tower?
It is. It pumps out all the time.
All right, stay tuned, everybody. Enjoy your little castle show. Giddy up.